We've put a ton of laps on this thing. It's been a real workhorse. But the last time we ran it, we did a camshaft swap.
And the relay was tugging on that cam and it just wouldn't come out.
For whatever reason, we wiped out the cam bearings, and that might have wiped out the bottom end as well. And so we're gonna go through the thing.
Plus we want to go in from top to bottom, find everything that's wrong with it before it goes in the car.
Yep. You'll see a lot of people say don't touch an engine with an impact wrench. Obviously, we're not following that rule. However, as we take it apart, we'll carefully inspect as we go, just doing sort of a necropsy to find out if there's anything that's been going wrong on it, one of which we just discovered it doesn't have hardened push rods in it. You have to have hardened push rods for use with guide plates, or the guide plates will ultimately eat the push rod.
Did you see any evidence of...
They're not chewed. The oil pan's always like a prime area of inspection when you're taking an engine apart. This is just moly lube, but this is not. That's chunks of metal. So is this. See that? That is bearing material, probably off that cam bearing that we know is completely ruined. And there's kind of a bunch of it in here. So that's our first indicator that we're in deep doo-doo. Now we get down to the actual problem, which is the camshaft bearings. And the camshaft does not want to come out. It's hitting a rod.
Can we rotate the crank and make that not happen?
Okay.
Ready? Oh,
there it
it's
goes.
coming right out. Now we're home free.
Oh, there we go. It's still questionable though, right?
Oh, the cam bearing's garbage.
Oh, the cam bearings are junk.
Let me rotate that crank a little bit.
Yeah.
You really don't want to do this, but this is like titanium crescent, so it doesn't scratch.
We're in the right spot. We're good.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah.
It did survive nicely.
It's like new. Of course, it only has about, 15, 20 dyno pulls on it. But aside from that, it's fine. Okay, now we're gonna flip it over and take the bottom end apart and find out if the rod and main bearings are as hashed as the cam bearings. You notice that we're actually being organized this time on Roadkill Garage? Kind of amazing. I mean, we've got our surgically clean table that we've vacuumed and put down butcher paper. We're actually boxing most of our components.
Here, I've got this vintage 1980s
wow.
Speed Pro box. Speed Pro Performance Cam.
This guy never throws anything away. But check this out, I got the Mylodon gold irradiated, also known as gold irritated front cover, just because it's so 70s retro, and it's not here yet, but I'm gonna have a Mylodon pan that matches it and just looks so good with the red.
Normally you would want to put the gasket on the block first.
The reason we put the whole front end together before we did the heads and everything is that we want to establish top dead center on the compression stroke of the #1 cylinder, which is where your timing pointer points at the marks on the damper, which is what you're looking at when you're setting your ignition timing. And the right way to do this is actually with a piston stop. You bring the piston up until it stops, then you rotate it the other way until it stops, and then you split the difference and blah. What we're actually going to do here is use a dial indicator instead and bring the piston up until it stops moving up and starts moving down. Watch this dial indicator right here, and you'll see that this is the piston coming up, and then it goes down right there. And so I need to get it right at the point where it is stopped going up and floating just a little bit right there, and then on its way down. Right there is where I'm gonna call top dead center, and then I'm gonna lock down my timing pointer right there. Hi, stinkiest dog ever.
Oh, he loves you.
I know, he loves me when he goes and rolls in the dead Roadkill.
Was that Victor or you?
He burped.
You did?
Got it. So the engine stand arm slipped when we took these two bolts off, and now it's gonna be a complete debacle getting it back on.
We have to take it all the way off anyway.
Well, how? What are we gonna do? Just let it dangle off those?
Right there.
Oh, it's just such stupidity. How are you planning on getting the head back on the...
I know how to do it. Just try, because I can just gorilla that up in brute strength.
Handled.
Yeah.
Okay.
Boy, we're good.
Finally. Moment I've been waiting for like 2 days. We're getting near the end.
Yeah, I know. It's looking good.
Ready?
You want me to heave it on there?
The crowning touch.
Here we go.
The moment we've been waiting
Are you
for.
ready for it?
Yeah. Look at that.
Wow. That's freaking awesome, dude.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
To begin with anyway, I'm gonna run the small block with open headers. I really want to maximize the drag strip performance. I don't want the weight of an exhaust system on the car. And I need the performance of just a collector extension. I'm probably sniffing glue, but I really want this thing to go tens. I like that we're removing the modern cliche to go to the vintage cliche.
I think you just want to be contrarian.
Oh, this thing's coming right out, look.
Is it?
Yeah, see? It's almost removed. There you go, it's removed. That's a BAM. Not quite BAM.
Oh.
There's BAM. You want to drop it lower so that when it falls, it doesn't kill as much?
Yeah.
Sweet. Now we got to get this mammoth 4L80E out of here. That's the best transmission I've ever had in the Crusher Camaro.
Really?
Yeah, because it's a Gearstar 4L80E and it's like super beefy and you can program it and it shifts like really, really snappy. Yeah, we're removing like some really choice components to install old school stuff.
You know, people usually strive to get all this kind of stuff in their Camaro. I hope this works out right. Looks like it might line up, more or less.
I think the viewers know that we're really adverse to putting dents in headers.
Yeah, I would never do anything like that.
Yep. Oh, wow. Okay.
How's that?
Yeah. The problem here is that there's one spark plug boot that is touching the header, and so I've got to put a little whoop-de-doo in it to clear it so that it doesn't just burn boots all the time. And man, it pains me to bash a header.
It would pain me if it was mine.
I'm kind of scared.
I am too. I don't like my thumb there.
I don't like my fingers there. Once you get it started, it'll self-hold itself.
I wouldn't want to be careless hitting the header with a hammer.
No. I think you just held back a little bit. I didn't think that was full Freiburger.
Can't decide what's worse, hitting my valve cover or your hand.
Oh, that was good.
You realize every time you hit that hammer, you're taking 1 horsepower away from your small block Chevy.
Think so?
Yeah.
So we've already made it nice and concave so that the boot will go on. We'd like a little bit more clearance for a socket so we can actually get the plug in and out easily. So we've got a 5/8 socket slipped just over the plug to hold it concentric, and the round part of that socket is now going to be bashing the header when I whack this right here. Ready?
Yeah.
Ooh.
More whackage?
No.
You just drove into Golden Spike.
Wow. Let's check leaks.
All right.
Feel better now?
Yeah, I do actually. I feel much better. Man, that thing fired right up.
It's got 38 fuel connections and we got them all right the first time?
Yeah.
I find that hard to believe. Who are we?
Yeah.
Let's just run it until the headers are just barely getting warm. We'll cure them and we will call it an episode.
This is pretty awesome.
I know. Ready?
Wow.
So now it's smoking.
Yeah. That's great.
So the theory here is we just heated up the headers a little bit. If we now let them cool down to their room temperature, that maybe they will cure and maybe they will stay white.
And that's all the smoke you see.
Oh man.
Man, I'm super happy now.
This thing is the nicest thing we've done on Roadkill Garage.
Really?
Full on.
Yeah.
Look at it.
I think you're right.
Oh, it's great.
Look at that.
And we'll be back next time maybe not the next episode, but the next time we touch this car, we're gonna be drive shaft, suspension, wheels, tires, hood scoop,
And
drag strip. I hope so. Man, life is good. 2 days ago, I thought that I was gonna have the engine of the Crusher Camaro scattered in a million pieces with some kind of disastrous oil pressure problem. But today, here I am at Auto Club Famoso Raceway, just north of Bakersfield, California, and I've got the potential to make the Crusher quicker than it ever has been. Right now, it is about 7:15 in the morning. We talked these guys into coming out, starting to prep the track at 6 a.m. because it is forecast to be like 105 degrees today. And with every degree of temperature that rises, my odds of success on a quick ET go down. So as soon as they get this thing all scraped off and glued up, we're gonna be on track, crossing our fingers for wheel stands and 1050s.
a couple of last minute deals. I figured we won't be needing this seat, so I'm just gonna pull that out.
Another 30 or 40 pounds gone.
Yeah.
Speaking of pounds, I got these things at 12 PSI. They're gonna heat up and probably go all the way to 14 or something, but I'll let them back down after the second pass.
Pre-stage, we've got the pre-stage light on. Now remember, the reaction time doesn't matter. We're just going for a time slip. He's staged. Whoa! Yeah! That's a big wheelie! Yeah! And on the rev limiter and the light. Yeah!
Now, we've done what I always chastise Dulcich for, what I hate doing, changing more than one thing at the same time, trying to see a performance difference. We've advanced the ignition timing. It's got 36.5 degrees in it now, whereas it had 34 in it before. The second thing that I changed is I raised my starting line RPM from 4,000 to 4,300. And I've got my tire set back to 12 PSI, so we'll give it another shot. Hopefully it'll hook and carry the tires higher than ever before, and finally run an ET quicker than 10.70.
Wow, that sounded pretty strong in the burnout box. I hope we picked up a little bit of horsepower with our adjustment. This is going to be a hopeful run because we're battling the rising temperature. Yes, please. 1082. 122, the mile an hour didn't change. So really, we haven't whittled away any time.
That was the cleanest run I've had.